Thanks for joining me again on Back Alley Bonsai. Today is Thanksgiving weekend here in the United States, and I've decided that I'm going to work on my 3 rescued elms. They are starting to do some fall leaf changing, and it seems like a good time to work on these 3 trees. So the first one that's going to be here on the bench is going to be this one here. I don't really know how to describe this one. Let's get this out of the way. Just kind of a simple one. It does have some roots down here somewhere. I can look at those in the spring, I think. And just really need to do some branch selection on it. It's got a lot going on with it. Way more branches than I really need. You know, ultimately I want to have this thing just have one main trunk on it that's growing out of it. And I want to have it focus most of its energy on that. You know, my main things that I'm doing is just focusing growing energy during the summertime. And then trying to do some selection during this time of the year. So I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different branches all growing out of the central location. It's just too busy for what I want. So I am going to take this one here out, try and get it down to just a couple of them. Got this one here, which is small and is growing straight backwards without any real movement to it. So I'm going to take that one off. And this one here, Herschel is very mad at the birds. Just take this little weak one here out, right there. You still see the original flat cutoff point on it. This branch I like, but it's very long and straight. So I'm going to cut it way back to, probably there. Nah, take it back even further. Take it back to there. Let's see what it does. This branch I like a lot. I'll probably wind up keeping this one for the long haul, although it does have this bit which is growing backwards, which I don't really want. Take that tip off of there. And then just kind of taking some of the growing tips off of this. Nothing fancy. Just tipping all the branches. Get it slightly back into shape. Yeah, still doesn't look like much. Ultimately, I'm probably going to have to reduce it down to just a couple of branches, like maybe remove this one and allow like this one and this one to be predominant. Pull this one and this one out. But that's for way further down the road. A couple more solid seasons of growth out of it. Figure out what exactly I want to do. I've got an aphid, and now I don't. I got a few aphids on there. Looks like I'm going to have to do a little bit of spraying. What I don't want to do on this is take off all the branches now and really regrow it, because this trunk is not very strong, I don't think. I'm still trying to get some strength back into the plant and make all the really big decisions in the future. Next up on the bench is its sister tree. This is off of the same basic root cutting. This one really struggled over the summer. You can see a lot of the bark died off of it. It's still okay. It's got a nice live vein under here. it was in a much smaller pot at the beginning of the summer, and I just had to bite the bullet and slip pot it into a bigger container that would retain more moisture and better insulate it against the hot summer here in Los Angeles. And that's just par for the course here in LA. But it's actually developing quite a bit of character. I kind of like it just buried really deep like this as it is. But for right now, similar process. We've got a lot of branches that are all sort of competing with each other, and I don't really need all of them, really. Again, I don't want to do anything too dramatic. I'm going to remove this one, and that leaves us with just these two down here. I'm going through with my angle cutters, and there's a, I don't know if you can really see it very well, but there are some little stubs in there left behind from previous pruning. Oh, I'll just break them off. All right, that works too. It's much easier to do. And I'm always kind of trying to figure out the best angle for this one. Because I like it. It's got a lot of character to it, but it's, you know, I've got a long way to go. At least all of the abuse and neglect that it suffered before I got it. You know, this just came out of a construction site. This branch was just kind of growing back on itself. I don't really want that. And all I can really do at this stage is just find things that are obviously going to be problems in the future. Try and limit them a little bit. We got a really strong branch right there. I'll take that back. Take that off as well. Taking off the tips. Put that back to there. This is all dead, I think. Little dead branch right there. And I'm just going to cut that all the way back to there. The little branch is growing underneath here. There you go, you can see it right there. So you can see this little branch that's right here. It's growing downwards. It's in kind of an odd spot. It's in between. It's actually growing off of this branch behind it. So I'm just going to take that off as well. So I can get in there a little closer. There we go. Now I'm looking at this one. I'm actually going to take that off as well. Create more of a separation. And actually, now that I'm looking at all of this, I'm wondering if I need this branch at all. I don't think that I do. kind of long and straight without a lot of movement. So I'm going to cut it back to there. There's a little branch coming out right there. So I'm just going to cut it back to there. Let's see what it does after that. This little one here I probably don't need. Sometimes it's all you're doing is just cleaning up all the little things that you don't really need. Yeah, I'm going to take this back even further to there. There's a lot of clutter going on over here, but I think it'll kind of sort itself out in the springtime. Now, like I said, this tree struggled quite a bit over the summer, so a lot of its growth is really dense. Small foliage, compacted, and not really the kind of growth I was looking for this particular plant. Normally you want lots of compacted growth, and today I've got almost too much. And lastly, I have my large rescued elm, and it is looking really, really good. Again, it has way too many branches growing in all kinds of crazy directions. So I just need to go through and clean a lot of this up. I'm going to try and reduce the overall number of branches that it has, as well as how they're interfering with each other. And I think I'm going to keep this one right here. You see that? Yeah, this big one. I think I want to keep this one as well for now. Some of these ones in the back I can probably clean up. We got lots of long spindly things that aren't super useful right now. And another one that's coming out in kind of a low spot on the back, which I don't necessarily want. So I also have to come in here and take a closer look at the core branches here. So there we have a close-up look of some of the core branches on this particular tree. You know, the main trunks, core ones, all of this is in quotes at this point, because this tree obviously has a ton of recovering yet to do. But like I said, there's a few things which I know for sure that I don't need, and as always, eliminate what you don't need and work your way to the stuff you do. So this one is going to be going, as is, you know, this one back here, which I don't need. There's a whole bunch of growth back there. Really just needs to be cleaned up. This is a look at the back side where a lot of the major cut points were when it was getting chopped out of the ground. And you can see all of these little stubs of growth either died off or been removed. Another one under here, pull out. A couple more in here. Loose flaky bark. Got some sort of grub or caterpillar living in there. Get out of there. We got a fair number of aphids in here too. Definitely got to give this thing a spray when I'm done. Some more out of the way material. What I don't need. Definitely don't need that. take a look in here. Oh. Let's see how badly rotted away a lot of this is. Yeah, you can see right there. It's just naturally rotted away. It's probably okay in the long run. I really just don't want to let it sit in there. So this dark spongy material right here. A little bit of a hook here. Some amount of rot is to be expected on this particular tree, just because of the nature of how it was collected. Now, maybe ultimately this will become the front on it. Depends on how this develops. This might become a cool visual feature at some point. Right now, I kind of want to see where it begins and ends. Alright. There we go. That big chunk. But this right here is all still alive. So it's like alive right to there, which is a pretty good sign. Happy with that. You can see all this nice living material there. That's good. It's all good stuff. Cool. All right. So I think that ultimately, whatever I choose to do with it, this particular branch probably won't have much say in the ultimate final design, although it may be the only thing that's kind of keeping this chunk here alive. So I don't know that I want to mess with it too bad at this stage. I may take it off later, but for now it's going to stick around. Don't think that I need these two branches over here. Really only need one of them. They're growing right next to each other. I like this one a little bit better. It's sticking out a little bit more over the edge of this little bit of the trunk, so I'm going to keep it. Take the other one off. Now it's gone. And then I think this one here, I'm going to get rid of this as well. And it is gone. Bring it back around to what I am nominally calling the front for now. Yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Front in name only for the time being. And I'm just gonna Clean some of this stuff up. Reduce the clutter on it a bit. And now all I'm going to do is give it kind of a rough shape. Nothing fancy at this stage. Just want to look at it and see something that kind of makes me think of a tree. And in many cases, that's just that nice, starts with that nice triangular profile, although that's not the end of it. And kind of a rough cone shape. I find that by doing this, I can eliminate a bunch of headaches very early. Have a lot fewer decisions if I have a lot of my longer, more congested branches out of the way. So, like for example, I can come in here and I can look at this branch, which is interfering with this branch. It's a little bit of one right there. And it's touching with this one. So I'll take care of both of those in one shot. Boom. Similar problem over here. Clip that back. These two are interfering with each other. So this one's actually just really long and straight. So I have a little branch right there. I'll just take it back to there. Actually, there's another branch right behind it. So I'll take it back to that one. Boom. This is long and straight. Anyway. I'm actually going to take and cut this way back to there. Same thing with this. Cut this. Cut these two branches. This one is the thicker of the two. I'm going to take it off to right there, and then this one, take it back to there, back to there. Removing some of these little lower ones. Again, long and straight. Take out this center one, open this up a bit. And mostly just long and straight stuff. Good aggressive growing year. Well, once again, the tree doesn't look like much, but it is ready for another growing season. And every year it'll look a little bit better. Once again, thank you everybody for joining me here on Back Alley Bonsai for my fall elm updates. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button, leave your comments down below, and as always, have yourselves a wonderful day.